Okay, correcting your mind, your motivation. Now, we're talking about the stages of meditation. So, in these stages of meditation, as I said, we need one good preparation, which is having no expectations. So, you have to think like when you start, meditate, you think like, what kind of, what expectation do I have? So you just relax there and think about it. And then if you see it, then you kind of, is this reasonable? How does this all affect me and my practice? Then you will see it. In Tibetan, we say meditator is like, redok mepa. Redok mepa, re means expectation or hope. Tok means doubt. Doubt or not so sure or, right? So mepa means without. Means like, so which means like beyond expectations and doubt. Expectation, beyond expectation is like usually people have like really they hope and expect, like attain liberation. And according to like good meditator, and that this is another like attachment to liberation. So you can't have that. And then tok means like doubt. So if you believe like what will happen in my next life when I will come back in samsara and I'm suffering, like you have that kind of fear. You're afraid becoming samsara and then you are suffering. That is another attachment, right? So beyond that is the genuine, the ultimate, beyond hope, beyond doubt or fear. That is the real sort of, or ultimate liberation. But it's a little bit difficult. So beyond expectations and fear or doubt. Usually expectation and doubt, these are, cause sort of mental problems, right? They become a negative, if we don't know how to handle. So anyway, that's, if you have good preparation, you don't have these mental problems. And then, of course, mindfulness, awareness, and the other three methods are very, very good, very important. These are, general causes of a great sort of meditation. And if you would like to have meaningful meditation, then you need two more things. You know this, right? The correct motivation is one. And then at the end, dedication is another one. from my experience, these are very important if you want like a meaningful meditation, because our basic motivation is whatever we do. Naturally, we are looking for our own happiness. I'm on, Mahayana's point of view, that is not correct. Worldly, like the ordinary people point of view, it is correct, right? Looking for our own happiness. But Mahayana's point of view, looking for on our happiness is not correct, because then we have this, what do you call it, self-centered mind. So as long as we don't sort of renounce self-centered, we cannot develop the Mahayana's, perspective. They said you can't develop holy mind. They call that holy mind, means bodhicitta. Holy mind is both the relative and ultimate bodhicitta. So if you don't have that, if you don't develop holy mind, then we cannot work perfectly for ourselves and for other sentient beings. So therefore, we can see how the self-centered mind is the main obstacle and sort of blocking our wisdom. And if there is a kind mind sort of, bodhicitta mind in our heart, our mind, then we don't have this self-centered. So Mahayana's point of view, this is our own mind makes the decision. Either we keep going from life to life, like, harming others directly or indirectly, or we change our attitude from this ego to, kind mind, the holy mind, and offer sentient beings all this peace and happiness, and up to enlightenment. All of this depends completely on what we do with our own mind. So Mahayana, practitioners say that each of us is responsible for our peace and happiness. But in order to develop, and then this holy mind is very important. So generate bodhicitta, makes your meditation meaningful. Now we see the usually a practitioner or a student need at least 3 qualities in order to, then practice. They said wisdom. Wisdom is very important. And when we talk about wisdom, there are 3 kinds of wisdoms. The wisdom of learning, very important. The wisdom of contemplating, and the wisdom of meditating, right? So if we develop these 3 wisdoms, then not only we have intellectual understanding, but then we will have some sort of personal experience from our practice. So as a student or the Dharma practitioner, the wisdom. That's why there's like four reliance. What do you call it? Reliance. Like you rely on reliance on your wisdom rather than your mind. This mind, ego mind. And then second, I think belief. Belief is important. There are also like three beliefs. Believe, our teachers. Believe your teacher once you have one, once you find a teacher. Believe the teachings of our lineage, very important for practitioners. The lineage is very important. And believe yourself, I think. Believe yourself that you can do this. You can do this means like you can attain enlightenment. You have a potential, or you have, the ability to, eventually attain enlightenment. So we must have sort of these three beliefs. Otherwise Mahayana, I like Mahayana teachings and Mahayana practice. So they say, there's no blessing. Blessing, we love blessing, right? Blessing is transforming into magnificent potential, and blessing refers to the development of virtuous qualities that we did not previously have. So if we don't sort of have, if we have no doubt, we will be encouraged to practice Dharma. And through this, we will transform into our this magnificent potential. So that is, Mahayana is called real blessing. That is the blessing. So, you see, this belief gives us this kind of blessing. So, second quality, belief is very important. And then I think the third quality a student need is diligence. We have to be sort of prepared to accept difficulties on the path. And we should not be sort of satisfied with just doing a few practice. We should promise to practice as long as we live and until we have attained enlightenment. It's your commitment. So this commitment to the practice of Dharma. Otherwise, if we don't have this commitment, we will not get anything done. And we will be easily lose our intention to practice Dharma. So as a practitioner, commitment is a key. It's very important. Commitment is very important. Therefore, I think we to have a strong commitment to the practice is so important. In order to make a commitment, as I said, the view, wisdom, diligence, very important, very important. And in order to sort of maintain, this commitment, we must have very, very good understanding the essence of the practice that we are doing. Once you understand the benefit, the essence of your practice, easy to make a commitment. So I think Buddhism, wisdom is very, very important. So if you have wisdom, you understand what you're doing, the essence of the practice, the benefit of Dharma practice. You will understand that. Then you can make strong commitment. So this commitment will arise and comes through the practice, sort of, instructions and your experience. So you see, I'm saying this because all of these things are part of your, motivation. So motivation, is very important, right? Never forget that. And then the other one is the dedication, right? So whatever you do, whatever we do, we have to dedicate, our virtues to, discover the inner peace and happiness, not only for ourselves, but for all living beings. The most meaningful thing we can do is to completely dedicate it, our lives to others with no expectations of receiving anything ourselves. That's the real Mahayana practice. So pure motivation and dedication are a sort of foundation of open mind, which is like, totally like opposite of the narrow mind, ego mind, self-centered, So see, if we have these two qualities, top up the three aspects, other things that we already talked, then our meditation will be very beneficial and very meaningful. If we don't have right motivation and dedication, then only you meditate, for instance, like shamatha, and then your mind is relaxed, very calm, but not much meaningful, right? So you don't dedicate that, or you don't have a correct, like kind mind, correct motivation, just peace mind, right? So if you really want a meaningful meditation, then you have to add these two qualities, these two things, So you see, if we follow this, methods and preparation and all of this, you meditate, then then we will get, they call it like 5 different experience. I'm going to tell you this experience according to Mapam Rinpoche's Goya commentaries. He says, first is the experience of instability or wavering. this is when we begin to meditate, we experience the mind is very unstable, means like with many thoughts arising. We experience that. We already talked about that. That's experience of instability, wavering. Then second, after that, we experience, they said, the experience of attainment. Top in Tibetan, like top means like attainment. With this experience, we begin to feel that we can have a good meditation, and it gives us confidence. And then after that, experience of familiarization. Kom in Tibetan, kom. At this time, the mind is becoming like familiar with the object of meditation. Whatever it might be, the mind is able to be there for long enough to get an understanding of what the object is. Kom means familiarity. And then after that, the fourth is the experience of stability. This time, there is a continuous state of stability without disturbing thoughts. Tan in Tibetan, tan means like very stable, At this stage, we have reached the level of stability in which we have control over our mind. And the last experience, the experience of complete stability. Tan. Okay, Tibetan, yo top kom tan. Tan yo top kom top tan. Okay, the last one. Completely, complete stability, I think.
Is that the one-pointed concentration?
Yeah, almost there. So this is the final kind of stage, final stage in which we are not really disturbed by any kind of experience. So it's difficult to understand, right? Like experientially, because we're not there yet. But according to the text, I can explain this experience, right? Intellectually. So in this time, the last experience, this time, there are also like 3 different experiences that will arise, which is a really wonderful, I think, and they call these 3 experiences are bliss, clarity, and the absence of thoughts. For example, while meditating, you might experience a great sensation of bliss. You experience a very, what do you call it? Very like tamons, like very subtle sensation. I think you are experiencing very, very subtle. Your mind very happy and very, very peaceful, very peaceful. And not only your mind, but your body is relaxed, and you feel like, I can stay like this, for many days without, move, and you just feel a very like subtle, pleasant sensation. And it becomes very strong, and then you experience very happy and very comfort. Deva. This is like denyam in the Tibetan we called, so this is what we call the experience of bliss. At the same time, the text, which said that you might also experience a great clarity that arises in your meditation. And it becomes stronger and more sort of clear. Then you feel like you might know what will happen in the future. That kind of wisdom arise, and sometimes your body feels like very light, very light, and you feel like sometimes you feel like you can fly. And sometimes, of course, you don't feel that there is a body. It's just completely, it's like light, So there's the solid things is gone. So everything is like smooth and very comfort, clear. So this is experience of clarity. And so this clarity brings great wisdom and also ability to understand what will happen in the future. This is not like the great wisdom, but still you have the ability to understand and that kind of wisdom. And also you feel like there are no thoughts at all. And that's a state of equanimity. Nyingma means like equanimity, and means like without distractions. And if you have thoughts, they suddenly dissolve, and you can remain, like continuously in meditation for very long time. And as your ability to meditate develops, your mind becomes more and more settled. You become very confident this time, very confident in your meditation, at this point. Then you just want to meditate, that's all. That's you need. No other things, no other like samsaric activities, worldly life, nothing. At this point, you just want to meditate, and you have the capacity to meditate without food and, other circumstances, So at this point, you're totally 100% confident that you can do this. If you don't have this kind of experience, then sometimes you feel like, oh, I really want to meditate, but then sometimes you lose it. It's not stable, your confidence, not like that, right? But this time, like at this point, like, then you just see it. You just want to meditate. So these are the three major sort of kinds of experience that can arise when you meditate with concentration. This is the result. This experience, the result of meditation, the shamatha meditation. So in order to develop this experience, you need all of those methods, right? Now, this is in general how you meditate, and these are the general kind of stages of meditation. So people really happy to understand if you meditate, what will happen, what kind of experience. These experiences are very like universal, like experience. Usually like different people have different experience, right? But these three, especially these three or the five experience, generally the five experience of shamatha meditation, and the last experience has a three experience about this. I just told you, right? Clarity, blessing, the no concept, no thoughts. These are the final experience. These are universal kind of, as almost everyone will experience. So general kind of, this is kind of like how you go through and like process in your stages of meditation. So it is good for, everybody, who would like to practice meditation. And now that's a general. So far, when we, talk about these stages of meditations are generally like everybody would like to take, these stages of meditation. And if you are looking for like specific stages of meditation, like, for example, like Tibetan Buddhist stages of meditation practice, then you have different one. I will tell you a little bit. Then you need to understand the basic teachings of Buddhism, like, for example, interdependent, arising, Four Noble Truths, etc. That's your first step. And then after that, you need to find a very good teacher. It should be someone who has like authentic experience of the teachings and has especially bodhicitta mind, has a bodhicitta mind, the kind mind. Means like the teacher has a bodhicitta mind, then this teacher takes care of you, the student. Usually teacher don't really take care of you. They do their job for their salary or whatever, right? So that means like lack of bodhicitta mind. So there's the Longchenpa says that the great master, Nyingma master Longchenpa says that in the beginning you need to examine the teacher. In the middle, you need to follow your teacher without doubt. And in the end, you need to get the realizations from your teacher. And then after that, you also need all of those, general stages of meditation that I explained already, right? So you need to know the benefit of meditation, preparation, implements, and methods, all of this. Then you need to, I don't know, these are make sense or not, but then you need to take refuge vow. And then you start to practice the outer and inner preliminaries. After that, you're going to practice, shamatha and vipassana. then you will get all of these other teachings like Dzogchen teachings, very, which are the teachings about, only the teachings about nature of mind. And for these teachings, your faith, your devotion are very important. Because whether this practice will be successful or not depends on your trust, your faith, your devotion. Faith is a combination of confidence and devotion, right? I mean, according to Tibetan language, It is the feeling of confidence and joy in the truth of the teachings. And, in order to, there are different ways to develop your faith, One way is, teachers say that one way is like through hearing the teachings. You just see that the teachings must be true. For example, like when you see that, when we talk about like that everything is impermanent, and when you understand everything, exists through, the cause and conditions, you develop feeling of like certainty and faith through your own wisdom, all of that. You can develop that way. And then another way to develop faith is reading books very good, like good book. Like for example, when you read in the life story of Buddha or other like great masters, you can, once you read it, and then you can suddenly feel great sort of confidence and devotion, deep within your mind. So this kind of faith comes from trust, and trust comes from confidence and certainty. And all of this come from your wisdom mind. Again, your wisdom mind, very important. So this faith is not just a blind faith, right? Because it arises through your study or through your practice. So in order to practice all of these teachings, you really need a good connection, okay? Good connection is very important. So devotion and faith is something that you need to connect with your mind. It gives you great sort of pleasure and satisfaction because you recognize the benefit of this practice. So then you have a strong and certain belief. When you have that, then you can do this practice very well. So your devotion or your trust, your faith, inspires you and encourages your practice. And when the mind is free sort of doubt, then whatever you wish can be achieved. So the Pater Rinpoche says that if you have only little faith, then only a few sort of or little sort of blessings will reach you. It's really true, I think. So the teacher says, that, your faith is the head of your meditation. So actually, enlightenment is depend upon these things. The power of blessing, of the lineage, understanding the essence of your practice, all of that, So then you can be very good meditator if you have all of this. Each individual practitioners needs to take this sort of process and follow the detailed instructions and methods of the path in order to attain liberation. So, therefore, it is almost impossible, it's almost impossible to jump, without this sort of process, to jump there, I want to receive this teaching and then meditate. It's possible, but it's almost impossible. So sometimes people say that, right? So I just don't want to, I don't want to take this process, all of this process, I want to be there. It's difficult. It's difficult to take this whole journey, this process. I don't want to think about all of these preparations and this process. But honestly, I don't think without taking this whole journey, it doesn't work. So this lifetime is very precious, I think, because of the unique opportunity to practice and to purify our obscurations and to develop our inner wisdom. And another very important part to remember is don't forget to bring the good experience of your meditation into your daily activities. If you forget all about your meditation practice during your daily activities, then you're not really connecting. You're not really connecting with your meditation and your mind training, whatever. So the teachers always say that, right? You watch your mind carefully. Be aware. And if you can do that each day or all the time, your meditation, I would say your meditation has been successful. And then, as I said, you will get great confidence in the practice. So you will be, the teachers say that you will be your own witness and you are the best teacher for yourself. Guru, the teacher, Guru means teacher, Lama means Tibetan. They can do, they only give you the instructions. I think that's all they can. But you are the best teacher for yourself. So never forget that. Never forget that, you have to take that responsibility. Okay. Now, at this time, we'll meditate rest in meditation. Do you know why why they called rest in meditation? I think you're not doing much in this kind of practice other than just looking at the mind. I think that's why they call it rest and meditation. In order to looking at your mind, the technique is, teachers say that don't make new thoughts. Okay, don't follow existing thoughts. So it brings a deeper level of insight, which is direct seen into the mind's nature. So in this way, when you are focusing on your mind, on your concentration is direct towards looking at your essence of your mind. And it doesn't really work if your mind is sort of disturbed and having lots of thoughts. So the technique is you should meditate for a short and frequently. Short and frequently. Very good method. So when you have a good meditation, means like you are completely focused and you can see where your mind is. You enjoy watching your mind. And then you have good meditation. So when you have that kind of good meditation, you will see, you feel very happy with your meditation. Actually means like you develop your confidence. And then that kind of experience, when you have that kind of experience, you should stop. You should stop there. Because then after that, you will sort of excited to practice again. And if you meditate like that for a short time, then your meditation is also very pure. Your meditation is without too much sort of, distractions. So the instructions for this meditation is looking at your mind. Like that, looking at your mind. You don't understand if I say like that, right? Long time ago, one of my Dharma friend, we both were a student of Antam Duparmuchis, and then we received lots of this meditation, the teachings, and then one time we got together and we meditated together, and he said, okay, look at your mind like that. I said, what are you talking about like that? What is... And then he said, I can't explain you. I can't explain. If you don't experience your mind, I can't explain. It's true. So just watch your mind, look at your mind. Like this. That's all I can say, actually. And then people sometimes misunderstand when I said, what look at your mind means like you have like second person, Somebody's, you are here and then someone's looking at your mind. But believe me, you will experience if you do this, if you follow these instructions, So look at your mind. And then that means like without, without thinking, without thinking. It's almost same as like what we did. Look at Buddha's statue, right? But this time, like you're focusing inside. So you look at your mind. That's all. Nothing else. No judgment, no good, no bad, nothing. Just directly, you focus on your mind and your concentration. And you have to just kind of like looking at your essence of the mind, right? And then just to relax there. There's no visualization, it's nothing, just, and if inside looking at your mind is kind of a little bit difficult, then you can also focus on the object, like Buddha's statue again, like that. Open your eyes, and if you have lots of thoughts, and sometimes you just, try to don't follow your thoughts, but it's just can't control you. So you have to change the subject, the object, your focus, so then you focus on, you open your eyes and then focus on the Buddha's stage in the heart of his center or whatever for a while. And then go back. Or whatever, you close your eyes or open your eyes, then go back and focus inside. Look at your mind again. Like that, alternately, okay? We'll do that for 10 minutes. Then we'll see. The teachers say that in Tibetan we say gomnen nit means like people who, after the lunch, then people meditate, and then the teacher gives you the instruction, says like close your eyes and meditate. You're going to fall and sleep, So once we do this, maybe you're going to sleep. But, when that happened, then you have to open your eyes and focus on the Buddha's heart, and then meditate on that. Okay? So there are lots of obstacles, and I will teach you, okay? I will teach you next session, when you meditate, there are lots of obstacles, believe me, I know that. So I will teach you all of that, and then you will see, okay? So for a few minutes, look at your mind, okay? No visualization, no nothing, okay? So just try to sort of relax, and for beginners, meditators, it's really important the correct the body position. Very important. If you're advanced, meditator, it doesn't matter. You can lay down. You can whatever. Doesn't matter your body position. But for the beginners, very important. So just relax and. Both your body and your mind, and comfortable, and shoulders, and your nose, and your eyes, and your head, your neck, your back, your everything is just as much as you like, relaxed and comfortable. And then like that, look at your mind. I can see my mind. I can see my mind. My mind. So if you want, you can close your eyes. For 10 minutes.